Jannik Sinner made a surprise appearance. It was not the presence of the world-class Italian that shocked fans. Athletes attending F1 races has become increasingly common, but rather the person walking calmly beside him. Laila Hasanovic, the well-known model whose name has frequently been linked with Sinner in recent months, appeared alongside the athlete in what has become the clearest joint public sighting of the two. Their walk through the paddock captured immediate attention. The pair entered the VIP zone with composure, wearing understated black outfits and displaying official event credentials. Multiple spectators, recognizing the two instantly, recorded short clips. Within minutes, these videos spread across social media platforms worldwide. For Sinner, known for his intensely private approach to his personal life, such a moment stands out sharply. For Hasanovic, it marks a significant public crossover from the modeling and lifestyle world to international sports coverage. This chapter sets the tone for the unexpected tennis meets motorsport intersection that unfolded in Abu Dhabi, an intersection that has now become one of the most discussed off-court stories of Sinner's off-season. To understand the significance of this Abu Dhabi moment, it is essential to revisit Jannik Sinner's established public pattern. Over the years, Sinner has consistently presented himself as one of the most focused, disciplined, and privacy-protective athletes on the tennis circuit. His interviews are measured. His public outings are minimal. His personal circle remains tightly separated from his professional commitments. Throughout his rise, Sinner maintained an identity that centered strictly on performance. Training camps, tournament weeks, and media appearances dominated the narrative. Rarely did his personal life enter headlines, and when it did, the details were limited. This has created a dynamic in which even small glimpses of Sinner's off-court world generate significant interest. Fans are accustomed to his professional intensity, not the private scenes of relaxation, downtime, or companionship. Whenever such moments appear, they instantly become conversational points. Laila Hasanovic's name surfaced in this context earlier in the year. Social media interactions, travel sightings, and background hints created speculation. But nothing was ever publicly confirmed, and both individuals refrained from offering clarity. Thus, the Abu Dhabi appearance does not merely mark a presence at a motorsport event. It marks a shift in visibility. The first time Sinner has walked with someone beside him at a major global venue where cameras are guaranteed to be active. This establishes the foundation for why the moment resonated so strongly across tennis, motorsport, and lifestyle communities. The footage from Abu Dhabi paints a vivid picture. The entry point into the VIP paddock is always a central area where many guests pass through, but only certain appearances stand out due to recognition and presence. Sinner's arrival was one of those moments. The pair approached the entrance calmly, maintaining a steady walking pace. Both wore black outfits, understated, neutral, and aligned with typical VIP paddock fashion. The event credentials around their necks indicated official clearance, suggesting that Sinner was invited formally rather than arriving as a casual visitor. Observers described the walk as composed and natural. There were no grand gestures, no public statements, no staged moments. Instead, the two simply moved through the space the way any invited pair would. This understated approach is exactly what made the moment authentic and impactful. Several angles captured their entrance: a side-angle clip recorded by a tennis fan attending the race, a front-angle clip by a motorsport account filming general VIP arrivals, a distant shot showing their movement through the walkway into the main paddock zone. These three clip types began circulating quickly. Within hours, they accumulated hundreds of thousands of views. The primary reason was not sensationalism, it was recognition. The presence of a top 5 ATP player in the paddock is notable. His walking beside Hasanovic is what elevated the visibility. Sinner's expression throughout the walk appeared neutral and relaxed. He acknowledged one staff member with a small nod. Hasanovic walked beside him with a calm posture, focused on the path ahead. Their coordination reflected familiarity with being in structured, high-attention environments without performing for the cameras. This moment marked the beginning of what would become the most discussed off-court appearance of Sinner's off-season. Sources connected to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix later clarified that Sinner's presence was not accidental. The Italian was invited as a special guest of the event, aligning with F1's growing connection to major global athletes from other sports. These invitations typically include VIP paddock access, a guided walkthrough of team areas, interactions with drivers and team principals, photo opportunities, hospitality suite access, behind-the-scenes technical briefings. Sinner's presence fits into a broader pattern across sports culture. Formula One increasingly collaborates with major athletes from tennis, football, basketball, skiing, and athletics. The sport has moved into a global entertainment sphere, attracting cross-disciplinary figures for visibility and networking. The invitation timing was also ideal for Sinner. Following the end of his tennis season, he entered a short off-season period where players commonly take personal time before resuming training for the next calendar year. Attending the Abu Dhabi GP offered him an opportunity to enjoy an elite sporting environment without the intensity or responsibility of competition. Reports indicate that Hasanovic's presence was part of his guest allocation. Paddock credentials are limited and carefully managed. Her inclusion on the guest list indicates intentional planning rather than incidental attendance. During the walkthrough, both interacted with event staff, greeting those assisting with guest coordination. Their movements suggested familiarity with structured event environments, a standard expectation for high-profile figures across industries. These details collectively reinforce that the appearance was not spontaneous, but rather a purposeful, invited presence. The fan reaction to the Abu Dhabi sighting escalated rapidly. This spike was driven by a combination of factors. Sinner's rare public outings. Fans are accustomed to seeing Sinner almost exclusively on tennis courts or press rooms. Seeing him in a motorsport environment created a fresh contrast. The presence of Hasanovic. Weeks of speculation created anticipation. For many, this was the first public confirmation of the growing association between the two. The neutral tone of the clips. The videos did not show exaggerated behavior or staged scenes. The authenticity made the moment more engaging. Cross-sport interest. F1 fans and tennis fans shared the clips simultaneously, generating crossover traction. Timing in the off-season. With tennis in its quiet period, fans were naturally more attentive to any new Sinner appearance. Social media platforms treated the moment as an unexpected but meaningful sighting. Comments centered on surprise at seeing Sinner in a motorsport paddock, recognition of his calm demeanor, observations about the first public appearance with Hasanovic, analysis of their matching neutral outfits, appreciation for the professionalism with which both handled the environment. Motorsport journalists also referenced Sinner during the event, identifying him as a major international athlete attending the race. The combination of these elements created one of the most shared off-court clips of his entire off-season. Although Sinner maintains a low personal profile, his public narrative is evolving. As he grows in global recognition and competitive status, his visibility outside the tennis court is increasing. The Abu Dhabi appearance signals several subtle but important developments. First, Sinner is entering a phase of his career where cross-industry interactions are becoming more common. Elite players often reach this point after consistent high rankings, Grand Slam contention, and sponsorship expansions. Second, public comfort appears to be rising. Walking through a high-attention paddock alongside someone is a noticeable shift from the private patterns seen earlier in Sinner's career. It does not indicate dramatization, simply evolution. Third, sporting crossovers enrich an athlete's global image. Tennis stars attending Formula One races, NBA games, or major fashion events is part of the modern era of sport, where visibility extends beyond the court. Hasanovic's presence at Sinner's side adds an additional layer. Her established career in modeling brings a different audience, merging lifestyle visibility with athletic visibility. For Sinner, who historically kept his personal surroundings outside the public eye, this moment marks a new stage. Not a dramatic one, simply a natural transition as he becomes one of the sport's leading figures. One element that stood out to observers was the professionalism displayed by both individuals. In high-profile environments, every action is visible. Their ability to move through the paddock calmly, acknowledging staff and maintaining controlled posture, demonstrated experience with such settings. Several characteristics were noted. 1. Neutral facial expressions, no exaggerated reactions. Both maintained a balanced, composed demeanor. 2. Coordinated pace, their walking speed remained steady, neither rushed nor slowed. 3. Respectful interaction. Both offered small acknowledgments to staff members directing guests. Point 4. Minimal distraction. Neither appeared distracted by cameras or phones pointed in their direction. Point 5. Professional presentation. Their attire aligned with standard VIP paddock expectations, avoiding attention-seeking elements. This behavior mirrors the structured professionalism Sinner displays during tournament weeks. Even in a non-tennis environment, his conduct remained aligned with the standards associated with top-tier athletes. Hasanovic also carried herself in a composed manner, consistent with her public appearances in fashion and media settings.